Want me to call,
need a car,
need it bad, need something better than what you had. Not sure what you want or where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
Welcome to another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. This episode is a very special episode and dear to me. Why? Because I created SVG Motors with the Rising Phoenix, which symbolizes overcoming life's challenges. And in this episode, not only do we showcase some cars, but we also tell some very inspiring stories right here in the Miami Valley. Stay tuned.
Hi, it's Preston here. We're here at Inglewood SVG Motors, and I've got this fresh unit here. It's an 07, and this is a Ford Edge, very hot SUV. This is an SEL model. It's got the V6 in it standard, and it's loaded. I mean, this car's got the chrome wheels, 18-inch. It's got really nice tires. It's got all-wheel drive, disc brakes. If you look here, inside, I'll show you real quick. It's got the leather. It's got power seats on both sides. Features that people really like in a luxury car. This is really truly a nice car. If you come back here, it's got room for the kids. You can put the seat down. You can haul quite a few things if you get to a garage sale or just in time for Christmas to be getting your Christmas dinner and packaging. If you come around back, look at it. It's an SEL. It's got the tow package, and it's got the backup sensor, so when you're backing up, it's going to beep when you get close to something as you get closer. And we can open it up, and I'll show you the back end here. It's got the winter mats. These are factory, so that keeps your car really nice during the winter. Keeps all those, I don't know if we're going to have bad winter this year, but you're still ready for it. Then I'll show you how the seats work. When you're ready to haul something, you still have a seat there, and you can haul quite a bit of stuff. And it's really easy to put them up and down. Very nice car. This is kind of a silver mist. Does have something that's kind of unique to Ford. It's got the push button entry. You can change that to whatever code you want. It's a really nice feature. Again, here's some benefits to the car. It's got power seats on both sides. It's got dual memory seats. So if there's two of you driving, you can both get it. It's got automatic headlights. V6 again. It's got the CD changer in the dash. It's got satellite radio. Just a lot of feature benefits. And right now, this car is only $12,700 in time for Christmas clearance. And it's got the really nice lights in front if you come around the front of it. And it's got the fog. It's got the fog lamps. See the lights? It's got the dual stack, and it's also got the factory fog lights. And if this is not going to work for you, and again, we guarantee the best price within 50 miles. It's superior value guarantee. We give you 3 years worth of oil change. That's 2 per year synthetic blend, and then we also give you a free dent care for a year. But if this one wouldn't be to your liking, we've got several in stock. I'll show you a few. We've got a 2012. This is a hot Honda CR-V, priced at $21,500. Again, best pricing out there. We've got a 2012. This is an SRX, real hot SUV, probably the hottest in the market. These are really, it's loaded. It's got everything. Leather, the dual roofs is $25,600. And then we also got some minivans coming up. Actually, we're only 2 or 3 weeks away from people thinking about vacations, even though winter's here. But it's only $21,700 right now for a 15 with low miles. And over here, this is a great, I own one of these. I got a 2010. This is a great car for the family. Third row, 2014 Journey, only $17,100. This is a great buy right now.
This next segment is a very heartfelt segment and something that I feel very strongly about. We met Troy, who created an organization called Tina's Angels, inspired by his sister who lost her life to breast cancer at a very young age. Right here in the Miami Valley, people are being touched every day, and Troy brings us 3 women who are fighting that battle, Jen, Allie, and Kathy. They are a reminder to us all what this time of year really means. To forgive those who have wronged us, to give to those who are in need, to love those that we care about, and most of all, to be thankful for all that we have. Listen as these young women tell their stories and share their battles.
When I found the lump in April, I was scared. I didn't know who to tell, what to tell. I decided that I wouldn't tell a whole lot of people until I knew. But when I found that lump and it hurt, it didn't move, of course I did my own research. Who wouldn't? With Google and Facebook and everything else, I knew something was wrong. When I got the phone call after the biopsy to come into my doctor's office, I could just tell in the receptionist's voice that something was wrong. I immediately called my sister and I told her, I'm not going to be getting very good news. I really want you there with me. We walked into the little office where my doctor came in and sat on the counter, which I thought was very odd because he's very professional, very matter of fact. He sat there and said, I'm just gonna come out with it. You have breast cancer. I started crying. My sister called my mom and she said, Mom passed out on the phone. It was really scary for me because I knew something was wrong and now it was real. The surgeon came in and said, you have triple negative breast cancer. I had no idea what that was. I didn't even know there was a different type of breast cancer. I thought cancer was cancer. Triple negative is the most invasive and fast-moving cancer. For me, I didn't carry any of the genes. I have nobody in my family that has breast cancer. And since this cancer was so fast-moving, they had to act right away. I went and met my oncologist, and the first thing out of her mouth was, do you want kids? This was the second most painful part of my life. My husband and I were supposed to get married in August of 2015, and I thought I wanted kids right away. I wanted to start in September as soon as I could. I decided to get a shot every month to help preserve everything, so hopefully one day I'll have children. I quit both of my jobs. I put graduate school on hold. We moved into a new place where I didn't have to have stairs. I had to get rid of my dog. She was 90 pounds, a husky lab. She was too big for me. I couldn't give her the life that she deserved, and that was one of the hardest things because she was my child. I started chemo 2 weeks later. My family and friends came together and had a benefit for me in my honor. They had a cut-a-thon. Everybody in the community, hundreds of people showed up and got their hair cut, donated their time, money, efforts. We had raffle baskets. I married my best friend and the love of my life on August 29th, 2015, among hundreds of friends and family, way more than we expected. I felt great that day. I wasn't sick, I didn't have a headache, I wasn't sore. It was an amazing day for me. The pictures don't do it justice. It was an amazing day. A month after I was done with chemo, I had my mastectomy. And then 4 weeks later, I had an infection. I knew something was wrong. I knew that instinct was back. And I called my surgeon, went directly to his office, and he said I have to do emergency surgery. He had to open me up and take out vials and vials of infection. I then went into kidney failure. But I try to be so strong, and then some days I just have those days where I just break down because it's not easy for anybody. I feel like cancer has really robbed some of my life. I now sit here and looking back on the last 7 or 8 months, I cannot believe how far I've come, how far my family's come, and how many lives I've met because of cancer. And I think I have cancer for a reason, and one day I hope to help others in their journey and to help them get past cancer like I have. And honestly, I'm scared, but I know with the grace of God and with my family around, I'll make it through.
All right, I'm here with Allie and Les, and you just got to hear Allie's story. And Allie, I got to tell you that I thank you for being so brave to share your story with all of us and allow us to be part of this. Les is with Tina's Angels, and none of this would have been possible without Les and your son Troy, who kind of put all this together and brought us together. And Les, if you don't mind me sharing, Tina's Angels was created and inspired by Les, your daughter, who battled with the breast cancer and lost her life to this. And I think that in memory of Tina, we created this, and you created this organization.
That's right. Our son created it in memory of Tina, and they did this kind of a thing for Tina when she was going through this. They did fun things so that they could remember, and especially her family, remember her and get her mind off of the cancer.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for bringing us to Allie, and just a beautiful young lady who I can't say enough how brave you are. Allie, this is a small token of what SVG Motors and SVG Chevrolet was able to do through Tina's Angels, and we're praying for you.
I'm grateful that I can share my story with everybody, that I was connected with Tina's Angels as well as you, and I'm thankful every day to be alive.
So are we. And those of you that are sitting at home, keep in mind that this time of year is the time to be thankful for what we have, and if you haven't the ability to reach out, and on the screen here we've got Tina's Angels contacts to try and do a little something extra if you can to help, because there's a lot of people out there that need some help. And Tina's Angels is a wonderful organization that we feel strongly of partnering with, and look forward to future involvement as we go. Thank you.
It was the Friday of Memorial Day weekend, and I was putting our daughter to bed. I had just fed her. She was breastfeeding as a 7-month-old baby, and I had felt a lump on the upper part of my chest, and I thought, that was not there before. I did not notice that before, and so I thought, well, it's just keep tabs if this is still there tomorrow. So it was there. Of course, it's the weekend, so I had to wait through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Memorial Day. So Tuesday morning, I called my OBGYN and just said, hey, I'd like to come in, see what you think. I have this strange thing happening. And so I went in, and she said, yes, it feels like a solid mass of some sort. I found out Tuesday I got a phone call from my OBGYN, who was the first person I had seen, who then said, we'd like to go over your results with you if you could come in today and bring your husband. I think they would have told me good news over the phone. So when they said, bring your husband in, I thought this probably wasn't good news. And so we went in, and she shared with us that it was cancer. And then it was kind of this blur, but it was the beginning of so much information coming our way of, here's the name of a surgeon, here's the name of this doctor to go see. So we started that connected trail of, you see this doctor, they tell you the name of another doctor because you need all these specialists. I had no idea. There were so many specific categories within the cancer world because of the aggressive nature of my cancer, triple negative breast cancer. We started chemo the following week. All of our family is out of town, so we plan to have my parents or my husband's parents help us out with coming in to stay with our kids. My treatments took about 7 hours each time to go in for the infusions, and kids had to get different places around town, and dinner had to be made and all that. So someone would go with me, my husband or my dad or my brother took turns going with me, and then so, we plugged through, we kind of trudged through, got those chemo treatments out of the way over the course of 5 months. I lost my hair about a few days after my second treatment. I had kind of been a little bit proactive with our wonderful neighbor who cut my hair. It was long about like this at my diagnosis, and then she chopped it short going into chemo because we knew it would fall out. They told us the drugs I was taking, for sure I would lose my hair. So I expected that. But then when it first started really coming out, then I saw my neighbor again, and she shaved it all off. And one of our sons had shaved his head as well, and my brother shaved his head too, so I wasn't the only one with no hair for a while. I looked then at having a mastectomy in November, gave my body a few weeks to recover after chemo, and I had a full mastectomy because of all the pieces we put together with my risk factors. My risk of recurrence was really high, so we opted for having the double mastectomy. November 14th, I had my mastectomy and then started reconstruction. However, I did develop complications with that, so we went through and planned to have another reconstruction surgery in April, which went well. Now it seems like a lifetime ago, but at the time it felt like that was really forever that was happening. So I was very thankful to be done with surgeries. Gosh, it's been a whirlwind, but one of the very best things that has come out of going through this cancer is I have been able to let go of things that used to bother me. With the kids, if something spills or someone's having a tantrum, and by someone I mean our daughter, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. She can wear her flip-flops in the fall, or, we just wipe up the mess. It's not a big deal. So things like that have been good. That's really put a good spin on my perspective of what does matter, and serious situations. There are definite good things that come out of going through this, and I feel this great community of people that not only supported me, but I feel like we're helping each other with other breast cancer survivors and their situations. Everyone's situation is so different, but we can relate to each other and support each other to lift up and just be there, to know they're not alone. And I think that presence is the best gift to give your family, to give your friends, just to be with them, because you can't fix it. You can't make it go away or go back in time, but you can just let them know that they're not alone. And I feel like I know I'm not alone. And with all the great family times we're having now, I think I appreciate it and just love it. Trying to hold on to slowing down time as much as I can.
All right, I'm here with Kathy. You just got to hear her story, and Kathy, I can't tell you enough how, I'm just taken back by you and the other ladies who were involved with this and fighting this breast cancer. And although it's not a lot, this is our little way of trying to help out, any way we can, maybe make Christmas a little better.
Thank you. Talking about being brave, I think it definitely takes a village, and I felt myself that the support of family and friends and the great organization like Tina's Angels giving us something really positive and good to look forward to on our calendar made all the difference. When you're going through some awful stuff, to have a memory-making opportunity is really amazing. So if you, during this holiday season or any time, are looking for a way to give back to other people, Tina's Angels is an amazing, wonderful organization. And the memories that we made, it's been a few years for us since we had first got connected with Tina's Angels, and those memories are with us for a lifetime. There are no guarantees when you're going through something terrible like cancer, but to take advantage of the time that you do have and set up like Tina's Angels did for us is just awesome, and to enjoy the moments that you do have. Looking forward to reliving those memories. It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you so much, Kathy. It means a lot. Those of you sitting at home, I know a lot of you are saying, I want to help out. On the screen here, we have Tina's Angels contact information. They're great people. 100% of the donations go back to the girls. So give. It's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Jen Anderson. I am 36 years old. I am a very normal person in so many ways. The way that I am not normal is that I have metastatic breast cancer. It's also called stage 4 breast cancer. It's also terminal breast cancer, which is the word that no one likes to talk about when we're talking about breast cancer. I was diagnosed with breast cancer for the first time in March of 2012. The day that I was diagnosed, the breast surgeon cried when she looked at me and told me that I had breast cancer. So that's how I knew that it was really bad. I'd gone in that morning to find, because I thought my breast was weird. I was 32 years old. I had no reason to think that anything was wrong or super scary. So I just went to my regular OB-GYN, and when the OB-GYN felt it and did an exam, she said, "I'm concerned about this mass." And that word really set my radar up. So I immediately, when I got out of that appointment, I went out to my car and I sat in my car and I called every business card that she'd given me for breast surgeons. And the very last business card was able to get me in on that same day. I had to call my husband with the news that I had breast cancer while he was at work, because the appointment that I'd gone to wasn't a scary appointment. So I remember sitting on the edge of the exam table, swinging my legs, wearing a hospital gown, and listening to myself tell him that I have breast cancer. And the surrealness of that moment is something that lingers with us both. We still pinch ourselves 4 years later that this is something that's part of our life. My reality is that every day cancer is spreading and growing inside of my body, which is, like, I listen to myself say this and I just can't quite believe it. The hardest part about being a metastatic breast cancer patient at the age of 36, not that there's an easy age for it, is that I have a wonderful family and a life that I'm very proud of having built. My husband is amazing and he is a rock for me. My daughters now are 8 years old and 4 years old, so I have a third grader and a preschooler, and they're amazing and they're the light of my life. And what metastatic breast cancer means to me is that at any given time, I could find out that the expectation from the medical team is that I have 8 weeks to live. That could happen tomorrow, and that is something that I absorb in everything I do as I go about every day. Every birthday that my kids have had for the last 4 years, I have anticipated, or I've tried not to anticipate, rather, that this is the last one that I'll see. Every year when we set up the Christmas tree, I make us take a picture of our family setting up the Christmas tree, because I want to make sure that they remember me putting on the ornaments too. I have really been blessed by a family and a husband that really has been supportive about being memory makers. So one of the things so many things about our life have changed in the last 4 years. Our priorities are not normal. We do not worry about retirement savings, because if I have to worry about money when I'm retired, that will be a really great problem. Very early on, when I was diagnosed, I began to write and blog about my journey and my story, because I needed to do it to process it for myself. It was helpful to share with my friends and family, to know what was going on with us. And then I also view it as something that one day when my girls are older, they will very much appreciate having their mama's words to read. And I like to think that we'll sit down together and they'll be in their 30s and they'll be having small children playing at their feet, and we'll read my words together and laugh about how Greta spilled peas all over the place when she was a baby, and look, her baby just did that too. And I hope that we do those things together. But I'm not promised that, and so I also view my writing as something that if I'm not there to share it with them, then it'll be a way for them to know me. And I think that right there is the loneliest part of my journey, because I think multiple times a day about leaving my kids and what will they remember and how will they know me and who will make their lunch and who will buy their prom dress and teach them to drive. And I know that their dad will do a lot of those things, and their dad is amazing. But there's also just a very real raw element that I love them and I want to do those things and I ache to do those things, and I know that they ache to do those things. My medical team tells me that I will die. They are truth tellers and that's their job, and there are outliers statistically that don't die and that they live with metastatic cancer in their bodies for a long time, and I hope to be one of those. But the reality, the statistical reality of that is that it's a very, very, very unlikely thing. It is more likely that I will die in the next year than it is that I will live for another 10. So even saying that out loud makes me cue on to my position, my reality. So very early on, I developed a mindset, or I felt like I needed to develop a mindset to try to wrap my mind around my new reality. And I came up with the mission of do today well. So my goal for myself became do today well. If I could put my head on the pillow at the end of the night and remember the memories that I'd made with my kids that day, and the kisses I'd given my husband that day, and the smiles and the laughter that I'd shared that day, then I could feel really good about that. The first time that we shaved my head, we did it on the back patio on a very beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day in April. We had about 30 people on our back patio, and we shaved my head. And what I remember about that day is the crispness of having very little hair on your head, which most women do not know that feeling, and it is a delicious feeling to be that exposed. As the hair, they'd buzz the hair and then it would just blow away in the wind. And I remember thinking that there was lots of strawberry blonde bird's nests in our neighborhood that year because my hair was just blowing all over the place. And it was an energy of happiness, and it was an energy of fun, and I'm proud of how we did that. And that's a good example of how our family chooses to do today well.
Wow, what an example of courage, bravery. Jen couldn't be here tonight, and Les, we want to give from SVG Motors to Tina's Angels. I think this is an amazing thing that you guys are doing. Can you see to it that Jen gets this donation? I don't know how that works. But.
Yes, we'll take care of it. I'll give it to the people at Tina's Angels, who is my son and board of directors. And Tina's Angels is a nonprofit organization, and we have no paid employees, so 100% of this money goes to the people that we serve.
Well, God bless you, Les, and Troy, and those of you that created this foundation. Les, thank you very much.
We want to thank SVG Motors for the kind donation, and we appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Those of you at home, reach out if you can. On the screen here, we have some contact information for Tina's Angels. Troy and Debbie both are more than happy to help out any way they can. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to thank Steve Van Gorder and SVG Motors and SVG Chevrolet for their generous contribution and donation to Tina's Angels, especially around the Christmas holiday season, to help impact some families that are battling breast cancer in the area. Each one of these young ladies has her own unique story and a unique story to tell, and the donation that you have made has gone a long way, and we just want to say thank you very much from Tina's Angels.
Thanks for watching another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. What a great show. And I want to say thanks again to the young ladies who participated, Jen, Allie, and Kathy, and also to Tina's Angels for bringing us all together. I want this to be a reminder, as it is that time of year, to be thankful for all that we have, but also to be giving to the less fortunate out there. Give of your time and anything else that you can do towards whatever charity that you feel strongly about. So from all of us at SVG Motors and SVG Chevrolet, happy holidays and have a blessed new year.